Welcome to YQ Academy Core Java Interview Questions and Answers. 1. Explain about features of local inner class. 1. Limited scope. Local inner classes are defined within a block of code, typically within a method. Their scope is limited to that specific block, and they are not accessible outside of it. 2. Access to enclosing class and methods variables. Local inner classes have access to the variables of the enclosing class/method, including its parameters and local variables. This allows the inner class to use and manipulate those variables. 3. Encapsulation. Local inner classes can encapsulate implementation details and provide a way to logically group related code within a method. This helps in organizing and structuring the code, making it more readable and maintainable. 4. Hidden from other methods. Local inner classes are not visible or accessible to other methods within the same class or to other classes. They are private to the enclosing method and cannot be referenced or instantiated from outside. 5. No static members. Local inner classes cannot have static members or methods. Since they are tied to an instance of the enclosing method, they cannot define static behavior. 2. Explain about anonymous inner classes in Java. Anonymous inner classes in Java are a way to create a class without explicitly defining it using a class declaration. Instead, the class is defined and instantiated at the same time, typically as a subclass or implementation of an existing class or interface. Anonymous inner classes do not have a name. Instead, they are defined in line using the new keyword and the class or interface they are extending or implementing. They have access to final or effectively final local variables in the enclosing scope. This means they can use and manipulate these variables within their methods or bodies. 3. Explain restrictions for using anonymous inner classes in Java. 1. Cannot have explicit constructors. Anonymous inner classes cannot have explicit constructors. Since they are created in line during instantiation, they can only use the constructor of the superclass or interface they are extending or implementing. 2. Cannot define static members. Anonymous inner classes cannot define static members such as static fields or static methods. They are implicitly associated with an instance of the enclosing class and do not have a separate static context. 3. Cannot have name types. Anonymous inner classes do not have a name. They are defined in line, and their class definition is provided within the context of the enclosing code. Therefore, you cannot refer to them by name or use them in a context that expects a name type. 4. Limited scope of accessibility. Anonymous inner classes have limited accessibility to variables and members of the enclosing scope. They can access final or effectively final local variables, as well as instance variables and methods of the enclosing class. However, they cannot access non-final local variables of the enclosing method. 5. Cannot extend multiple classes. Anonymous inner classes can extend a single class or implement a single interface. They cannot extend multiple classes due to the limitation of Java's single inheritance model. 6. Limited reusability. Anonymous inner classes are designed for one-time use and are not intended to be reused in multiple contexts. They are typically used for small, localized pieces of code that are tightly coupled with the context in which they are defined. 4. Can we instantiate interface in Java? No, we cannot instantiate an interface directly in Java. An interface is a blueprint for a class, defining a set of methods that a class implementing the interface must provide. It does not have a direct implementation. However, we can instantiate a class that implements the interface and use it to access the interface methods. For example, in this example, we create a class myClass that implements the MyInterface. We then instantiate myClass and assign it to a variable of type MyInterface. Through this variable, we can access and invoke the methods defined in the interface. 5. Explain about member inner classes. A member inner class is a class defined within another class. It is a non-static inner class that has access to the members fields and methods of its enclosing class. Member inner classes are associated with an instance of the enclosing class and cannot be instantiated without an instance of the outer class. Example to illustrate member inner classes. In this example, we have an outer class that contains an inner class. The inner class has access to the outer field of the outer class and can also have its own fields and methods. To instantiate the inner class, we need to create an instance of the outer class first using outerObj.newInnerClass. Then, we can use the instance of the inner class to access its methods. 6. Explain features of member inner classes. 1. Access to outer class members. Member inner classes have access to all the members fields and methods of the outer class, including private members. This allows them to directly manipulate the state of the outer class. 2. Instance specific. Each instance of the member inner class is associated with an instance of the outer class. This means that an instance of the inner class holds a reference to the outer class instance that created it. 3. Encapsulation. Member inner classes can access private members of the outer class, which provides encapsulation and hides the implementation details of the outer class. 4. Code organization. By defining related classes within the same file, member inner classes help in organizing code logically. It keeps related classes close to each other, making it easier to understand and maintain the code. 5. Inheritance. Member inner classes can inherit from other classes and implement interface just like any other class in Java. They can extend a class and override its methods or implement interface to define additional behavior. 6. Access modifiers. Member inner classes can have different access modifiers: public, private, protected, default based on the visibility requirements. This allows controlling the accessibility of the inner class from outside the outer class. 7. Instantiation. Member inner classes can be instantiated only through an instance of the outer class. This ensures that the inner class has a valid reference to the outer class instance. This is the end of our Java interview questions. We hope you enjoyed learning with YQ Academy. Until next time, goodbye.